Yeah, so
Oh, you good?
it went back to previous settings, like um basically when I started the stream earlier.
Weird.
I'm having to fix your thing now. Your video. Anything more you want to say about Through the Blues?
I'm depressed.
You're depressed now?
I have chronic depression. Thank you, Callie. That's all I have to say.
Okay. That's up. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna act like that didn't happen.
We gotta act like that did not happen. Okay. I have to look at this, pay very close, specific attention to this. Okay. Okay, we're good. Alrighty. My number 5. No, number 6.
Six.
Yeah, six. I knew that looked. I knew that.
As a warning.
No. My number 6 is Skeletons.
Do you like Skeletons?
I like Skeletons.
What do you like Skeletons for?
Skeletons is like that. It's interesting how Callie has like a trio of just certain songs on that album, on Phantomime. Between Skeletons, Last Days, and Through the Blue. It's like each song has a different style to it. And almost like a feel. But
Skeletons
are different in their own ways. This was, I think, I don't know. I went through different phases with Skeletons, with a couple different songs in Phantomime. But I'll just talk about it. Immediately, I love how Skeletons starts with the piano and it just gets right into it. And there's another song that does a similar thing, but I cannot think about what it is. But it's the repeated lyrics, and it fits with the piano. Hold on, just letting go, or shout it all. Time to decide. And she says time to decide multiple times. Here's a little bit of Japanese lyrics in there. Save and reload. Time to decide. I'm running low on time. It's all too broken. Inside to decide. And then repeats, hold on, just letting go, or shatter it all. Time to decide.
That's referencing to Shatter from the rest of Ravencroft.
It's Shatter, yeah, Shatter. But Last Days and Through the Blue are companion tracks. I'm just talking about feel. I'm just like talking like these are the sad songs. I know. See, like I guess I should have done more research. I should have just went right to the source.
Citation Roland.
Yeah, citation Roland. What I think the song is about is looking back on life, the decisions that were made, and think about what could have been differently. This is when I should have just wrote the entire lyrics, because now I can't back it up.
No, that's okay. So what I enjoy out of Skeletons is kind of that same piece. I think Skeletons in itself, it does follow up with some of the other tracks, I would say a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What I enjoy, say, Skeletons is kind of that. I feel like it has to do with exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
You're generally running low, and you're remembering what you're fighting for, even though when other things are bringing you down. It does in a very slow tempo until the tempo finally rises with more of a, say, quote unquote, like rap point, or I don't know what you want to call that,
Yeah.
until she like recognizes who herself is. So like, Skeletons is a pretty good song.
Fixing something.
I made it the F word. Thanks, man.
I made it the thump up.
Oh,
I made it the thump
I made
up.
that. I made it as I made it the F word.
Up.
I was like, oh, good idea.
I will say, every time I've listened to the song, and every time I listen to it, no matter what I am doing, when I'm listening to it, I always hear this lyric, this whole set saying, "People ask why your ass still a hot mess, but they don't figure that improvement's a process. You lose some, you talk less, you work on your aim, and spare the others that'll follow any meaning meaning of shame." The part I love is that they don't figure that improvement's a process. It's like yeah, I mean, they're talking shit, but they don't understand that this takes time.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. I mean, we live in a internet culture where we see people making improvements by, like, we look at one video, we look at one post, we look at whatever blah, and they make like a leap of improvement in a month or two when we compare that to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see other people that are, the heavily critical, judgmental people, the people that are quote unquote your friends, aka I'm kind of leaning towards bully again. I think there's some signal to that, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Skeletons is a very nice song.
I didn't write any of it, but what I did write is like the translated lyrics give off the impression that she's stuck where she's at. But but if you're heading in the right direction to keep going. And I think, yeah, that's what I wrote.
I don't think I knew that. I never read the translated lyrics.
Oh, it's at the very end. It's some of the last lyrics that are on it. Why didn't I just write down the translated lyrics? Here it is. The last lyrics are reach out your hands. Use these eyes to barely see that there is still no one here. Don't worry about me. Even with pain in this form, you're heading in the right direction. You will see the light there. But it's all in Japanese. And I would have missed that. But that's kind of what I got from it.
Yeah. Skeletons is a beautiful song.
And I said that just tends to be a theme of her music, which, yeah, it's just constantly just, I know she questions a lot what she needs to be doing, or where she's been, what she needs to do. But yeah, Instagram artists effectively posting only their best work artificially skews their progress. Oh yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's a pretty big thing right now.
Yeah.
That's why basically weight loss or anything is some of the hardest things people can do right now, is because not only does it look impossible, to a degree it kind of is impossible with some of the artificially skewed content.
Yeah. I think that's directly responding to improvements of process.
Yep.
So, I love Skeleton's so good. I love it. Okay. You're number 6?
You ready?
Yep. 6 Feet Under.
So,
another one from Jigoku 6.
Yeah, so I wrote that as Jigoku with an E. I did not realize that's a 6.
I know Jigoku is a place, so I assume it's a 6.
I didn't know it was a 6, so yeah. Mistypo here. To me, that looked like an E, not a 6. I'm a real deadbeat.
Yeah, it admittedly has intense imposter syndrome. Oh, exactly. Yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
Okay, Callie, you'd be happy for yourself.
So, this song I don't know where I want to start with it because my mind races with this song a little bit. So I'm just gonna start up with the first thing that you said out of this album. That what was the song that you had on your top 10? That was like the
Uh,
hardest one.
Overkill.
Was it? Oh no, that was it. You said Overkill was like her hardest song.
Yeah,
To me, 6 feet under is
I'd have to listen to it. It's hell.
6 feet under has a lot of factors that I like out of her music a lot. Um, so generally speaking, and actually Roland said this just a second ago, is that it has to do with like interpersonal hells. I feel like that's what this song is. It's a very big down spiral until it combusts. A lot of her music, that if you look in the lyrics, has to do with self-hating. A lot of her songs kind of are self-depreciating, and what I enjoy out of the song is it doesn't really get better. It's considerably just kind of rough throughout the entire point, but her general vocals carries that. Her my self-hating good to be the hate sink, I can take the blame, collect power from the pointless pain, people see the beauty where there is none in a world that doesn't compensate anyone. This is really just kind of a rough song, but what I enjoy out of it is that when it goes after the chorus, it's jump, fall, stay alive, just want to save a life, jump, fall, stay alive, just want to save a life. He's still seeing some of the inner beauty in what's kind of going on. But one of the reasons why this was one of my favorites is, does it have the, if I don't know what's the best term for this, but it feels like a guitar riff, except it's rap. And it doesn't stop for about like 15 seconds or something. She essentially raps like 20 verses in that matter of time, and it goes really fast. The tempo of this, it's kind of an exhilarating, aggressive song. The reason why I put this one above Cult Following is a simple song that is very fun to listen to, but this one I feel like speaks more. This one it's impressive how Callie holds herself with how high her pitches go and how fast her tempo is. Yeah, the anxiety-inducing rap verse is amazing, especially since she gets so good at that now she's faster than the music when singing it live. That's 100% true. I think this song is incredibly impressive. Like, and it's not even like necessarily that simple of a song, quote unquote. Like some of her other music I've said is like, oh, this is simplistic, it's simple, but it has a lot of charm or character behind it. This one I actually think is self-depreciating to the point where it's like, this speaks a lot of probably how she felt at a certain point. And when she's like rapping to the extent of how fast she's going, I really feel like that's coming straight out of her. Like, I'm impressed. One of the other things, and I wrote this down, is you're losing yourself in your goals, you're losing your identity, and you're fighting against yourself. That's generally what I feel like is going on in that song. It's an excellent blend of rap and rock. And the last part on here, which I don't expect anyone to really say anything, is it reminds me a lot of Ling to Sight, the Japanese band, or whatever that's called.
Ling Tosite Shiguroi.
Yeah. So that.
Oh yeah. So he's it's like a.
Not only is the guitar sounding that way, but her vocals get so high pitched, and she's like screaming. I feel like she's kind of hurting. And
now that you say it, I'm listening to it now. Yeah, the instrumentals do remind me of them.
Yeah. So that's the reason why it's above Cult Following. That album, I mean, that EP, I should say, I'm really impressed with it. I think that EP is really good. But 6 Feet Under is the one that hit me the most. And once again, I put it on this line. It's one of her most unique ones. There's not one like 6 Feet Under. Mm-hmm. How she does that general, I don't want to call it a rap riff. I don't know what's the right term for that. but she's singing faster than the music itself. And it feels like it's just boiling herself down until the final ending. And what I love too is before the chorus actually starts, the tempo slows and then it picks itself right up like she's calming herself before the storm. I'm very impressed with 6 Feet Under.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I got for 6 Feet Under.
After finishing Jikoku 6, it took her months to even listen to music again with how much it drained her.
I would believe it. And the funny thing is, 6 Feet Under, like, let's look at not that it really matters. I think how an EP or an album is formed, you know, that could have been the first song that she made when it was put as the last one. But, like, that one on there is kind of just towards the middle. And I really am just feeling like 6 Feet Under is just an excellent song all the way around.
Yeah. It's
So,
a great EP, good EP.
yep.
It is not on my list.
Yep, I know.
We've accepted that.
Yep, I know. So,
Just realized that Pantomime Deep Dive was members stream. Oh?
man, I had to give him more money just to hear her explain the things that I'm trying to decipher myself.
What the heck, Callie?
What the heck, Callie? Anyways, so that's my number 6. So you can continue with
I
number
really
5.
do like 6 Feet Under.
6 Feet Under, out of all her quote unquote like hard rock songs, is the one that speaks to me the most. I feel like that one has the most power behind her inner struggles into that genre. Or I formulated into that genre, I should say.
I still think, like, instrumentally, and then I still think Overkill is probably a harder song, but yeah, there's definitely more probably meaning towards it.
There's more inner struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I kind of put it is, it's kind of sounds like she's hurting. Like, I feel like there's a lot of power in her verses.
Yeah. Okay. I saw it
Anyways.
live. Thanks for getting gifted a membership. What's that?
I said I'm gonna drink more alcohol, so continue.
Okay. You got to watch it live. Gifted a membership. That's nice. My number 5 is. Oh, I did a typo on it.
Do it live.
Let me fix it live.
Do it live.
I can't.
No, don't fix it live. Don't fix it live. Show it live. I want to clip that.
It's Through the Blue. Through the Blue is my number 5.
Did you misspell the 8s or something? Like the 8s?
No, I did it Through the Blues.
Oh.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, man, this isn't a blues track. This is a depressing track.
It's all about being sad.
Yeah, man, big sad moment tonight. So, I know we just kind of went through the blues, and what does the song mean to you? What speaks to you on it? Why is it your number 5?
So originally, I remember when the album first came out, the EP, or the whole album. I remember it's
actually, I'm surprised my Through the Blues is number like the way it is. I thought I would have had that higher than you. I honestly didn't think Through the Blues was even going to be on your list, but keep going.
So, yeah, I know. I've grown to like it over time more and more.
It was actually like my favorite song from that album for probably 2 weeks.
Is it Callie's Wine? No, Timmy, you don't know about that. We would have had to import that.
Callie had her own wine?
Yeah, in Japan.
No, it's triple. It's Crown Royal with Diet Dr. Pepper. I accidentally probably put like 5 shots on it, but I'm good.
Yeah, because
and a can of Coke.
And a can of Coke. So the blue sky filled with blue balloons for the pink Shinigami. Yeah, because originally when I listened to the album, because I say it's like that trio of songs that are just inherently sadder is Skeleton's Last Days and Through the Blue. I think I like Through the Blue the least out of the three, and now I like it the most out of the three.
Dang, that's crazy.
I know. It's just grown on me so much over time. First things first, it's another example of a strong song finishing an album.
Yep.
It finishes an album. It's another song, so it gets a buff for me. Not on purpose, but it's just how it is. I love that it is primarily an acoustic bass. There is a second instrument that plays, but it could be a second guitar. But it also could just be a bass. But it sounds like it could just be a second guitar. And then just the constant, just the snapping of the feeling.
It's a constant beat.
So it being an acoustic guitar and the snapping the fingers gives it a whole sense of being down to earth, because you could see someone playing a song like this around a campfire or a small setting, with it specifically being an acoustic guitar, and then the audience is basically adding the beat to it. I love songs like this where you can hear the guitarist slide their fingers down the neck of the guitar. You can hear them drag their fingers.
That's a good point.
I love it. I love hearing that because most of the time when they do live recordings or they do recordings, this sounds like they recorded right in front of a microphone. It sounds like this is an unmodified acoustic guitar. And I love it. And this is a song I'd like to learn on guitar, especially because of how I can hear how it's played. This is something I could have played back in the day. I think I could have played this.
Good use. So that's actually been something that's been on my mind for the last few years. That when I originally took a music course, if I would have listened to more, I mean, Callie was around at that time. She was, but pretty early on. I mean, a few EPs would have been out, and honestly, this would have changed the gates of my music.
What year did you take your music class?
It would have been 2021 spring.
So her first album,
it would have just been EPs. And the thing is,
her first album might not have been out yet. Her first EP, at least.
Yeah, but like that's kind of my point. Is it just would not have been enough?
Yeah. I think it's about questioning life, but it's looking towards the future. Sometimes optimistically, sometimes not. But you're getting through life. I guess we technically do know what the song is about, but this was my interpretation. You're ruining my vibe, Roland. That's just kind of what I got from it. The last verse is so sad. The last
Would you be kind of disappointed?
Yeah. Would you be kind of disappointed in me? And then just how she's singing it too. It's like partly, I mean, this is what I said before. It's sad just because this is the end of the song, but it's also the ending of the album too. And it's like it's almost over. I wrote down it sounds like she's in a state of acceptance. Did I think that?
State of acceptance.
At the very
I feel like
end.
that. I feel like that's closer to Skeletons, but I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know what you're writing. Yeah, and that's kind of my thing too, Roland. Is it's a lot of Crin's music from her earlier career. I'm kind of 50-50 on a little bit of that. I kind of, when I started listening to it, I kind of felt like some of that was Crin's, but at the same time, it was if I was, say, in a quote unquote like music career and I was like, wow, this really speaks to me, I would have like written a whole essay on Callie easily.
Yeah, because this stumbling and falling sideways, I guess that's me, but that's not all I'll ever be. And still that view I want to see even now. I'll hold onto it somehow. Everything's a little bit unclear. If I said I think it's over, that I finally had enough here, would you be kind of disappointed? Yeah, that last one's not as much. I think it's the second to last set of lyrics where, I don't know. That's kind of what I got out of it. At least at that last part. In context would be like, would you be disappointed if I gave up to? Yeah, her lyrics, her words. And then the very end of the song, past the lyrics, the guitar slowly finishes, but this finger snapping continues. And it goes long enough to where you don't want it to stop because the guitar has already stopped at this point, but the clicking keeps going. And then and then it just stops.
You
and
can
then
interpret that as a heartbeat.
Golly, you're true. Is that a little too on? Is that a little too on the nose?
Well, I don't mean it like on the line of a friend. I just mean on the line of like, would you be kind of disappointed and you just kind of you're going by.
Well, I'm not.
You're holding on. You're going with it. You're not giving up. And then it just,
Yeah. I mean,
you just assume it's continuing on. I don't mean a friend. I don't mean that.
Yeah.
I mean like you're just holding on.
Yeah. I mean, for me, this is the part, because that finger snap and it continues, and it just, I don't want it to end. I don't want the song to end yet, and especially in this case, I don't want the album to end yet. And then it does, and there's a noticeable void, and I meant to listen to it to see if there was like I forgot what the phrasing is in song structure, where you just say you have 4 beats. Or you have on 2 or something like that. I wanted to see if there was like, I wanted to see if there was a certain amount of times the finger snapped, but the guitar kind of finishes really late and it just fades enough to where I don't really know when to count. But I wanted to see if basically if there should have been another extra snap or 2, and it doesn't happen, and that's what makes it feel noticeable when it is gone. But I didn't notice it when I listened to it. But basically, it's a prime example of how good a final song on an album can be. Because so many times I've listened to that song and I just restart the whole album. Because it ends so strong. So good. I'm not ready for things to end yet. Yeah. Before I even said this, I meant to say my top 5 almost encompassed a different EP in an album for the top 5. The top 5 almost had a song from a different EP or an album. Almost did. There's 2 songs in the top 5 that are from the same album. But other than that, everything else is either from a different EP or an album or a single. I really like Through the Blue. A lot. You mean the measure for the snap track? I don't remember what it's like. I don't remember what the phrasing.
I'm not very good on that line.
When I learned guitar, there was I can't tell you. It's like if you are strumming with a chord and you do your strum motion, you can either do it 4 times and that creates a set. And so it's like 4 on 4. And then some songs might do 2 on 4. Or some might be 3 on 4. But it's how the song is structured. And I was wondering if the finger snapping was following a similar method. And if it broke that method at the very end. But I don't think it does. Because the finger is snapping through the whole song. And then the guitar slowly fades. The guitar just doesn't stop. So I don't know necessarily where to count it as when it starts and when it stops. Anyway, it was just a thought process I had, and I wasn't able to pick up on it, so I just overlooked it. I need to think of what it's called. Anyway, if we combine brain cells, we might be able to pass music theory. Timmy already did that.
Yeah, kind of.
Music.
I miss music class.
I wish I was um in music, 4/4 time is a time signature that indicates there are 4 beats per measure. It's the most common time signature in Western music, and it is often called common time. So if you look on your music sheet where they have the big squiggly, the popular, I don't know, the music note that,
Cleft?
yeah, I don't know. You'll usually see a 4 on top of a 4. Yeah, I guess this is
You're
mostly
talking about cleft. You're talking about.
time signature. It's called a time signature. Yeah. And then there's I remember 2/4 is also common. Yeah, it's called a
Yeah,
measure.
he's right. Time signature indicates how many beats are in a mezza, and which notes gets one beat. So this is difficult sometimes.
No, it's technically easy. That's how you know. If you look at a sheet of music and you see what is being played, that's how you know how many times to play said note or chord. Is that?
Yes, I know, but when it came to piano,
Yeah, I'm sure.
that was a little difficult because that means now I'm playing really fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and it was like,
I'm sure it's probably the same with piano, but do you ever, on your music sheet with piano, do you ever go back to, say, a top part if, say, inherently
Mhm.
there's a chorus?
Yeah. So
Okay.
towards the end of a line, I think
Yeah.
they're called lines. If there's certain dots at the end of it, then you're actually supposed to repeat the whole song up until that point,
Mm-hmm.
and then continue and do throughout, like just basically repeat the song. And then there might be something even that you repeat just a certain line, but I don't think so.
Basically, I wondered if the snapping at the end basically ends on an odd number instead of an even number. But I don't think so. Anyway, that's good little music section. Okay, you ready for your number 5?
Yeah, let me 1 second. I'm gonna drink.
It's gonna get deep. Gonna
Uh,
get deep, fellas.
okay, you ready?
Yep. Guh, huh?
Yeah,
Already.
Gah. So, Gah. Once again, I'm gonna go ahead and just start with a big. Where do I want to start with Gah? So I've summarized Gah on a few different lines in my head. I feel like Gah is a general rap battle against herself. I feel like she's like jokingly making fun of herself the entire song. It's not only like maybe a fight of herself against with maybe deadbeats, but also just general like say if there was like a hate fandom like on that line. But the thing is,
Yeah.
what I really enjoy about this song is that one, it's goofy and it's fun and it's fast paced. The build up towards it lasts for like a minute before the chorus actually starts. But the reason why I enjoy it is one, it feels like a general like I call it a general roast of herself or anyone against her, or a quote unquote rap battle. It's not rap battle. Rap battle's two people against each other. But it's really just goofy and fun. It's one of the few songs that I get excited when I listen to it because the chorus actually starts like a minute 15 into it, and it's used all that time just to build itself up. And then when the chorus actually starts, it's so fluent, it's so smooth. And what I enjoy out of it too is it. I feel like she acts like she's in character. Have you misplaced your life? I hope you find it. Just follow my shadow. Guess what? I'm on your side. The self depreciation is a bit of a dunk. Just give you. I can't read this fast enough. I can't read. I can't read. But Then it ends off with Deadbeats We Like It Rough. We'll give it up, Deadbeats We Like It Rough. Damn, my content's only decent club, and I'm the president. Now let's play a game so we go a bit deeper. Who is the best at roasting the Reaper? It's a fun song.
Yeah.
It seriously is. And once again, I'm going to go back to it. It's unique. There's not a song like this in her catalog. So when I was going through all of this is not an objective song list. It's really not. But when I was looking through a lot of her songs, the ones that stuck out to me are the ones I were like, wow, you don't have a song really like that. Hey, that's really catchy. The tempo on this is really fast. You gave a lot of build up towards your chorus. And when your chorus ended, you built up towards it again pretty well. There's a few songs in her general catalog that will loop the general verses or the lyrics until the chorus begins again. Only a few though, most of them don't. And what I enjoy out of these songs is it's just enjoyable until the very end. And when it's done, it's like, you know what, I could basically listen to that again or basically put something on loop. I enjoy Ga. It's a very goofy, over-the-top song that I don't know how popular it is. I really don't. All these songs, I actually don't know how popular they are. I know some of them are definitely popular, but some of them are else. I'm like, I don't hear anyone talk about Foley. Woods Pamigo, brr, that's funny.
I think Foley's decently popular. It's hard to say on Ga just because it's just something Callie says. Callie just says Ga.
Yeah. But that's good to me. Good to me is one that when you look at my current top 10, you'll see a lot of weird songs. None of these really match up. Like literally after Cold Following is Through the Blue, and then after Through the Blue is 6 Feet Under.
So you had it harder than I did.
I struggled. I was like, gosh dang it, I love her genres. I love her unique type of songs that she wants to portray. And I can go I kept on going and going and going. And that's why I kind of was like, hey, you know what? I struggled at this point, and then some of these other points were easier. And yeah, so that's me for Ga.
Ga is not on my list.
I know.
But I do like it. I like it a lot.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I like it a lot.
Don't.
Okay, yeah, I don't. I don't like it at all, actually.
Yeah, you think it's probably trash. You probably think I'm trash. You probably think my whole list
sucks.
I
said that
Austin, look, our longs have only correlated with literally one song so far. I told you our list is either going to be very similar but also very different at the same time. I'm currently at it's very different.
I said we were going to have no more than 5 overlapping. We still have a chance. Because that was the first word during her debut. Was it?
Yeah, and you know what Gargura's very first word on her debut was?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
That killed so many people.
That gave her so many subscribers so easily. I do really like I don't know.
No, it's fine.
You just gotta understand I like some other songs more. It's okay. I'm not hurting your feelings. Stop it. Okay? Are we good? Callie's 3 styles are Real, Linkin Park, and Taylor Swift.
Ga. Anyways, go on to your number 4.
Number 4 is Scuffed Up Age. I told you I'd talk about it later.
I think I forgot.
What is going on? That is so weird with...
I think I broke my chat.
Did you now?
Oh my. There we go. So,
No
Scuffed
clue.
Up AIDS, I already said my thoughts on this. I feel like it's a general clean and hopeful song
Yeah.
about kind of accepting towards, instead of focusing on the bad, you're looking towards the good in life. What do you feel of Scuffed Up AIDS? Because I
I,
really don't feel like this song's popular.
yeah. Also, I just realized you made your slides individually different than mine.
I don't know what you mean by that.
I have a same image. All I changed is the
Oh,
wording in the album.
yeah, I did it all at work when I was getting paid.
Yeah. I did mine within an hour before I went to bed last night.
No, I got on the work, clocked in, did some stuff. All right, guys, I'm gonna be busy for a little while.
Um, yeah, I've already said the song starts off inherently just optimistic. It's optimistically choosing to keep on living no matter how screwed up the world is or how unfair maybe life is, but doing it no matter
It's
what.
coming from a Green Reaper.
It's coming from a Green Ripper.
Grim Reaper. Green Reaper! Holy crap, I'm tired. Keep going.
Doing it no matter what everyone or even your own thoughts say or her own thoughts. The song is called Scuffed Up Age, but it's about the scuffed up age we live in, and she says that in the
So,
song.
I'm gonna bring up something.
Mm-hmm.
Scuffed Up AIDS is a good name for a song, but I also feel like scuffed isn't the right word. I feel
Scuff.
like
It's funny how scuff
scuffed.
has such a different meaning in the VTuber realm.
I don't know anything about that, but my thing is with scuffed is it's basically saying messed up AIDS or it's screwed up AIDS or
Yeah.
it's yada. And when I hit scuffed up AIDS, I feel like I wasn't pulled to it as much because I was like, scuffed up AIDS, what does that mean? It's like I just was like, scuffed is a word that I think about like hitting against the wall. You scuffed something. That's what I think of. So yeah, keep going.
Usually when, like, we'll say like a debut stream is scuffed up, it's messed up. The things don't go the way you want. Loving your Oshi while you're on the boss man's clock. I,
You know what I do? Not every morning, but every morning what I do, Roland, is I go into work, I clock in, I get on the computer, I check what I gotta do, and then I instantly pull up like whatever VTuber I can find. But the sad thing is I've been missing Rara for like a week,
she
2
hasn't
weeks,
been
and I have
she hasn't been streaming much in the mornings for us.
she streamed today a Yu-Gi-Oh at 8 a.m. I was busy at 8 a.m. Anyways, I'm sorry. Keep going. Scuffed up AIDS.
I wrote, there's a point in the song that deals with having to push through and be optimistic, even with your so-called friends are turning on you. Yeah, I need to listen to the song. I should have wrote down lyrics. Scuffed equals tech issues. Yeah.
So the thing is about Scuffed Up AIDS, it took me a couple listens to kind of get attached to it, and for some reason, and that's how I am with music.
Yeah.
I listen to something like, this is gonna sound weird. I'll listen to something like 3 or 4 times for me to be like, shoot, I think there's something here.
Basically
how
all
I am.
every day.
Anyways, so my thing was Scuffed Up AIDS. There was something in the melody, in her general pitch and tempo, that just kind of made me like it would stick in my head, and I'd be like, I want to listen to Scuffed Up AIDS again because I feel like I'm missing something out of it. But the thing is, half the lyrics are in Japanese. Honestly, maybe even more. Like it's a pretty 50-50. But Scuffed Up AIDS is a really pretty song.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very hopeful song.
There's a part I like how it ends, because it almost sounds like as it's trying to end, she just keeps singing, and the song is almost like forced to continue.
You know what I envision?
I've noticed that from some of the first times I listened to it. She's like, it almost sounds like the song doesn't want to end out towards the very end, and it does, obviously. But that's always something I liked about it, because it just sounds like, no, we're gonna get through this scuffed up age we're living in. We're just gonna push through it, and I almost feel that in the lyrics. maybe not necessarily what she's singing at that time, because it's the chorus at the very end, but it's just how every time I've listened to it, it feels like the song just doesn't want to end, or her singing. She doesn't want to stop singing. Oh yeah, those friends that betrayed Callie. Yeah,
I don't actually know anything about that.
we'll get to it later.
Okay.
This
the
is
thing
also yeah. Go ahead.
Scuffed Up AIDS, I don't know why. Yeah, unless you're like this, I don't know. Every time I envision Scuffed Up AIDS, I think of kind of a dead wasteland, like almost post-apocalyptic.
That's what I've thought.
Because I feel like, things are really rough. Things aren't okay. It doesn't matter in what term away, but to me that just always correlates back to that type of environment, and things are just quote unquote rough. And it's about seeing the beauty in what's rough or wrong or bad or non-existent. So I was just gonna key them.
I was gonna say, she just sung the song recently on karaoke.
Oh, did she really?
And this is when I loved the song, because I already listened to it when I was going through the discography, and I already liked the song. But then she sung it live, and it was during her 2.5 million subscriber endurance stream. She sung this song right when she hit the goal of 2,500,000 subscribers. This song was ending right, or she hit the goal right as she was finishing it, and it was honestly beautiful. It was so good. And it was like, because she did a unarchived karaoke, so she was singing a bunch of other songs, but then she did an archived karaoke, so you can actually find this really easily. But she did a couple different songs. She sung Capsule, and she had like Suise's lyrics in it too, so she was just kind of singing along with Suise still. But she did sing Scuffed Up Age, and it was like when she's like, I'm gonna sing Scuffed Up Age, and it was so good. I loved it.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. I was gonna say this almost was an example of a song finishing on a album, but it's not. It's the second last song. Or
it's close. It really should be.
I know. I was like, surely this is the last song on the album. It's not. Ouroboros is the last song on the album. Callie has said getting offered lyrics from JP writers has been challenging because she doesn't want 50-50 lyrics for JP songs.
I would believe that off a current catalog.
Yeah.
Not, yeah.
Yeah. I loved it.
I didn't expect Scuffed Up AIDS to be on your list.
So there was a point when I was making the list, when I was going through this list and organizing it, the top 4 took as long as the rest. So organizing top 4, there was a point I think Scuffed Up Age was almost number 1.
So I'm the opposite.
It got easier as you went?
No. It was easier for me to start than it was to finish.
It was easier to.
I'm very.
Well, I started from. I stopped from 10, and then I went down to 1.
No, I started from 1.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't do that
because I would.
I have an idea what'll be up there, so I put them up there, but I'm not concrete in them at all. As I was going through the songs, I'm like, oh, Scuffed Up Age is gonna be high, so I put it up high.
I'm not that way. I'm more on the line of, I know I really like this song, and I'm gonna put it at this rank, aka Bully. Bully was up there for a reason. But as I'm exploring the catalog more, and I'm really giving things the slow soak, and while I'm listening to it, I go back to number 1, number 2, and I think in my mind, what makes number 1 or 2 special enough for me to leave it right there? And that's my thing. 6 Feet Under, for the example, or even Through the Blue, I was like, what makes 6 Feet Under and Through the Blue so good? And I would go back to number 1 and be like, well, I really like number 1 because of this.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm like, you know what? This is so good, or this is so good in my opinion, that at least deserves to be top 10, and I would put on the list, and then I would formulate it from the list itself. That, to me, that was easier. Me being like, oh, I'm gonna start from 10, I'd be throwing things all around the place then.
Well, what I mean is, what I'll do is I have all the songs top to bottom, all the songs that I think will make it. I'll listen to one song. Okay, is that gonna be higher than this one? Okay, it goes up. Listen to this song. Is it higher or lower? Nope. This song, does it go higher or lower? Nope. This higher or lower? Oh, it does go higher, so it just makes it higher. It's constantly higher or lower. I listen to a song and I find out where it's gonna weave in, be in the top 10 or the top 19, and that's what ends up happening. I end up being surprised when a song made the top 10 because I'm like, oh, I didn't think that was gonna happen, but it did. It doesn't matter. I just had a harder time on my top 4.
That's fine. That's fine. I did a lot of cardio when I was doing mine. It was my best way of soaking it.
I just sat down and did it. So
To
okay.
me, that doesn't work so well for some reason. I don't
No,
know why, but
I sat down.
constantly.
I sat down and listened to for hours.
Yeah, well, so when I do cardio, or I just say cardio, that's just what correlates in my head. When I'm doing it, I just have my headphones plugged in, everything's shut off in the world, and I'm focusing while doing something healthy. While if I'm on my computer just soaking and listening, I find myself like drifting off and looking at different things. That's just how I am.
Well, when I was doing it, I had Spotify full screen looking at the lyrics.
So when I did cardio, I just put my screen on full screen and looked at the lyrics.
Can you get much higher?
No, I just actually had the lyrics on my screen the whole time, and it was funny because I think people would actually look at me too. I don't know why, but I felt like people kept looking at me from my back or from my side about like this bro's on a treadmill just looking at lyrics.
I mean, people read on the treadmill too.
I know, but it looked funny because I don't think I've never seen someone do that.
I don't know, man. I watch VTuber clips on the elliptical.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I know.
Nothing will beat that one guy who played like Breath of the Wild on the elliptical. That was kind of funny.
I catch up on my VTuber clips. I catch up on the news. Okay,
that's up on the news.
You're number 4.
You ready?
Yep. Did you do it? Yeah, I see it. Skeletons is high for you. I knew Skeletons had to have been on your list.
Skeletons is an interesting song. I know I say that a lot at this given point. Skeletons, to me, you kind of mentioned this a little bit, that some of the songs correlate each other. If I had to say Through the Blue had to do with being confused on a pathway and you just didn't know where you were walking towards, but you're still holding on to a level of hope, I feel like Skeletons has to do something similar, except it has to do more with exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that Skeletons has to do with the very melancholic tone of reconsideration. That you're constantly regrinding yourself in for what you're fighting for and learning to ignore like external sources that don't believe in yourself. So my thing is with that song is that throughout it, she's battling her beliefs of what she's fighting for, and she has imaginations of where she would be if she wasn't fighting. She's envisioning herself as a cracked, broken skeleton. 1 second. Ugh, my gosh, I had to sneeze. The song immediately begins with building towards the chorus and then actually beginning a light version of the chorus. So the funny thing is the very beginning plays the chorus, but she doesn't sing it. She's just going along with it, like kind of humming it or whatever that term is. And then later on, she actually sings with it, and then it ends off with the chorus going back to humming it. Yeah, burnout. That's really the rough way of saying it, or the summarized way of saying it.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is you look at Last Day, you look at Through the Blue, and you look at Skeletons. The difference between Skeletons between Through the Blue is that Through the Blue you don't know where you're going, but you're holding on because you know what you're trying to do. Skeletons, I feel like, is the opposite. Skeletons is you're constantly doubting yourself. You know what you're wanting in your life, but you're constantly having to remind yourself what you're doing. And that goes back to the, the really nice lyrics of da, 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 let me pull it up. Da, 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 da. Where is it? Go back. Da, 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 da. Oh, and when people ask why your ass is still a hot mess,
Oh, I had that.
they don't figure that improvement's a process. You lose some, you talk less, you work on your aim, and you spare the others that follow any meaningless shame. She knows what she's dealing with, and it's general burnout of basically giving 120% effort. The thing is that's kind of beautiful about her lyrics is she's giving 130% of her effort.
She says she's a
She's not-
workaholic by hobby.
Yeah, and I feel that. I know what that's like. And my thing is you have to learn to slow down, but you also don't want to slow down. And you're constantly talking about time to decide because you're reconsidering what you're working towards. You're not stopping, you're still working at the same pace. The Aids of Misfit, optimistic that I missed it. You kind of knew what you were working towards, say, like 5 years ago. And you're thinking about stopping. I can do this for her versus I just got to keep going. Yeah, I mean, beautiful way of putting it, but Skeletons was a difficult song to put on this list because I know I've said this a million times. I find it a very unique song out of her catalog. And I feel that within her current catalog of music, there's not a song that really settles on the line of burnout or exhaustion. And those are two very difficult things. It's an upbeat song. She realizes what she's working towards, what she's fighting for, but there's no doubt in the back of her mind it's imposter syndrome. She doesn't see, everyone has second thoughts in life. Throughout the whole chorus, it's assuming, soothing, calm. It does go a little upbeat when the lyrics, or when I guess the rap starts. I say the rap, I don't even know what really considers rap anymore. I just call it rap. So yeah, shoot me in the head. But really, the reason why I struggled with placing this song is because it kind of went all over the list. And I ultimately settled it at number 4 because not only is there not a song like this, but 2, it's a beautiful song. It's, to me, it kind of speaks towards who Callie is. And I couldn't put this any lower. I, at one point, had it at like 5 or 6, and then I was like, actually, no, I think I might have even had it at 3, possibly. What am I fighting? It was difficult.
Yeah.
It was I hated doing this, Austin.
I mean, for me, I originally had Skeletons in my mind. I thought it was going to be higher than Through the Blue. And probably Scuffed Up Age, but I don't
Austin,
know.
you don't know how much torment you gave me. This
Like,
is all your fault.
did I tell you, like, okay, you're gonna make a list? Hey,
you're gonna make a
you know how
list.
exactly how this started? I'm like, oh yeah, so what's your Alahai top 3? And then it turned into Callie top.
The funny thing is,
it was never a Callie thing. It was never a Callie thing. You made this a Callie thing.
I know. The funny thing is, I was thinking about that today. In my head process, I was thinking about how this started because you were like, what's your Alahai top 3? And I was like, I think if I remember correctly, I said that it's going to have to be for its own day. We also have to work towards the Callie.
No, I think you said that's going to be hard, just like Callie.
Callie's hard. Alahai isn't too bad.
Alahai is easier for me.
It is.
But But I also
I'm
don't.
not gonna, I'm not gonna go into that.
There's not as many songs for Aloha I like as much as Cali, so that's why it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aloha hits me, but not in the same way. So that's my number 4. Skeletons.
Okay.
It's a weird song because I'm going to say I actually don't listen to it that much, which is probably weird to say. I'll listen to it from time to time, but when I do, it hits me in a certain way of like, I just understand what he went through.
I
can understand.
I'll say about the Phantom Mime album. That album gets shorter and shorter every time I listen to it.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it because
it's like I've listened like the most recent time I listened to it. By the time I got the Skeletons, like, oh dang it, we're almost done. No, because I know we're almost done. So, okay, top three. I am gonna be very surprised.
I'm gonna start off with an apology.
Watch Mojo presents top 10. Number 10, sneaking. What's wrong with sneaking? What's wrong with sneaking?
So the funny thing is about sneaking. Have you ever read the lyrics for that?
Yeah. That was awesome.
Do you know how many Metal Gear Solid 2 references are in there?
Metal Gear Solid 2?
Yeah, so it mentions Fortune, Vamp, and Fat Man, and then mentions the Patriots.
Oh, I must not have listened that hard then.
I didn't. You can barely hear it. I read the lyrics on Spotify, and I was like, oh man, I can't even hear that. So I say specifically
it's so weird those two made a song about Metal Gear when they both have nothing to do with Metal Gear.
I know. It's like you think you would.
It's like, yeah, we put Mr. Persona on this, and then a VTuber that also likes Persona and a fan of Lotus Juice. Let's make them do Metal Gear.
It's short.
So weird. I'm gonna be very surprised if this song's in your top 10. It's probably gonna look weird being so high up, but I've loved this song since the first time I've heard it.
I know what it is.
Do you?
I know what it is. Go ahead and click it.
No, you say it.
Live again.
It's Live Again. I love this song.
I knew it was. I had a feeling.
I don't think I've talked much about it. I remember I sent it to you.
Yeah, but the funny thing is when you send me a song, you really, really like it. That's the thing. And then I just don't listen to it.
Yeah, then you just don't listen to it.
I feel horrible. You'll send me a song and you'll be like, wow, this is really chill, whatever, blah. And then you'll talk about it and then you'll bring it up like 2 to 3 weeks later. Like, hey, did you ever listen to that song? And I'll be like, no, I didn't. The thing, it's hard for me to listen to music because I go in moods and so on. But Live Again, this is really good. It seriously is.
It's from her first EP. So if you just simply look at it as songs released, this is the 4th song she made.
Kelly Sin, we got me. I'm in the RIP. It's so catchy.
I have loved this song since the first time I heard it, but so we've talked about it before.
I'm hearing some regretful sighs, Austin. What's going on?
There is regret. The original version was made because someone at Konami discovered Callie and asked, hey, do you want to do a Metal Gear shit post?
Is that why they mentioned Fat Man?
Let's mention the clear most disliked out of the Metal Gear games.
Oh, I apologize, by the way. That song, Callie Shimigami on the RIP, that's not the same song. My bad. I'm not a fan, obviously.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and lynch myself.
There is inherently regret, because I've talked to you about this before. This song comes out, I looked it up. It's in October of 2020. And so this is very early on. I don't remember exactly when Myth debuted. It was probably like September. Or it might have been October. But so this EP comes out in October 2020. Callie goes on Trash Taste in November. and so I watch it. That's the first time I ever watched Trash Taste either. So it's my first time to both Callie and them. But it's like, I'm gonna watch this because this is interesting. They got a VTuber on there, so that's the first time I ever saw Callie. And naturally, they're talking about her music in there in the episode, and they talk about stuff. And the clear most popular song at the time was "Excuse My Rudeness, but could you please R.I.P." And at the time, I didn't care for it very much. Nowadays, I actually don't mind it. I actually just listened to it yesterday, and I'm like, this is a goofy song, but I do like it.
It takes a while to adjust to it.
It's grown on me. So at the time, I'm like, I just, I'll watch Callie's streams, I'll watch clips of her. I just didn't care for whatever her music. And at the time, I didn't care for rap. I like rap way more nowadays. So my music taste has changed, and it's been 4 years now. So what I'm getting at is, if I just listen to that EP, this is the last song on the EP, which is also what I'm saying. It got the buff. It's the last song on the EP. And I know I would have liked this song back then. And if I would have liked this song back then, there was a good chance I probably actually would have listened to her music a little bit more often too. But I just didn't.
First impressions are very important. It's totally understandable.
When doing the Revenge version, she wanted to make it a serious song with hard guitars and juice song.
Oh, no, you think about the Revenge version.
Is that for sneaking? But yeah, my music's changed to where it's like, look how high it is on this list. I would have loved this song back then. But it might be a little hard to like, why is it so high up and why do I like it? It's just a simple song. It has good vibes. It's just inherently positive. I did see one person said it kind of reminds them of Nujabes.
Yeah, actually, I can see that.
Which, funny enough, in the Trash Taste episode, Callie talked about her one of like inspirations was Nujabes. So, and I remember that years ago. This is a song I can listen to on repeat multiple times, and I have done it. I think she has mentioned what the song is actually about, but there's like two sides to it that I like thinking about it on. Basically, the song is about an ending. And what I wrote is, it's about saying goodbye for now, but over time, we will get to know each other. And we'll get to know her. Because we're going to see her again. And I like this because it's like, you can look at it as simply she's ending a stream. Because she's just started her time at Hololive. And a lot of times throughout the lyrics, she says signing off. So she is finishing a stream. It's very blunt about it. But it's about like, this is the end for now, but this is a new beginning. She continually talks about how she hopes to see us or whoever again someday. Yeah, and it fits with the reality of this is her beginning at Hololive, and this is also her first EP. So you could also look at it like, hey, you just finished listening to my music. I hope you come back. Because this is her start. I don't know why. It's so positive. I love it. But thanks for watching for what I put out, though it's not a ton. Because she just started.
Yeah, so that was kind of my thing with Live Again.
It's a very... yeah, go ahead.
It's clean and positive, but it still has her quirky, cute, positive, charming nature to it.
Mm-hmm.
She's fresh at that point. She's working towards herself. She's building herself up, and it's hard.
I actually do think
I really enjoy that song. It's a charming song.
I think she has actually said what the song is about, but I was reading it through a Reddit post, and I'm like, I'm gonna ignore that for now.
It's the thing is you, when it comes to music, you have to accept and find enjoyment for what you do enjoy. You can't ignore what the actual reason is, because ultimately what you feel on something is something you genuinely feel. Now, actually reading about what that is, super interesting, and it will add to it. Sometimes it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's like, you know what, I don't actually know.
I
Like
I have talked about
like
that
now
before.
that I know what Through the Blue is actually about, I see that, and now I probably won't forget it. But at the same time, I still love it for the reason why I love it.
Yeah. Um, it's inherently a very nostalgic song, though I didn't listen to it at the time, but I could just feel it's like this feels. It might just simply be the fact that it has the old EP on it, but it's just like I can put myself in that headspace of like it was in the beginnings of the pandemic. Everyone always talks about how 2020 was an interesting year for VTubing and how VTubing thrived around that time. And I don't know. I think about the song and I think about going on a trip, is what I think about. It's always what I think.
Roland, you should also just not trust Reddit in general.
Don't trust Reddit
I'm
unless it's
just
Callie's
joking.
from Callie's guy.
I'll pull up stuff from Reddit.
The
I'm
only time
joking.
I was seeing it from Reddit is like, oh, she said in a stream, said it's about so and so.
Did you notice on skeletons I put on drinking again?
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah,
Uh,
I saw it on my
but
screen.
yeah, I love that. I didn't think about it until like, yeah, it's like, yeah, it does remind me of New Job is, and that's
I
probably
do.
it's like,
Have you ever listened to Nujaba's other music?
yeah, there was a time I did. Yeah,
Yeah, I did too.
I
Yeah,
haven't done it in a long time, but yeah.
me too. Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like there is a sense of regret with this song because I think a lot could have changed if I listened to this song 4 years ago.
But you can't be hard on yourself on that line. Like it's understandable. It really is. First impressions are important, and if you never have a first impression, or your first impression is possibly bad, I mean that's just what it is.
Yeah. I've been subscribed to Callie since November of 2020. Okay.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, it's ever since the Trash Taste episode came out. So, that's it. Callie's also speculated that the 2020 anime season being so ass likely helped Myth. I don't remember what came out in 2020.
You're making me want to pull it up on any chart.
I'll pull up on any chart. Nah, don't. We'll do it later. Okay, Timmy, what's your number 3?
So number 3. You ready?
Yep. Glass Slipper. I knew this song was gonna be on your list.
So this is another difficult song to kind of talk about. I think, man, how I feel like I'm regurgitating myself.
I mean, it's all coming from the same artist. I mean,
I know, but I feel like I'm regurgitating myself to a degree if I constantly say, "Hey, this song is super unique from our catalog. This song is super different," and the reason why is because I find this song kind of, once again, really beautiful. It goes back to the whole thing in which I kind of struggle reading the lyrics a little bit, trying to find my own way through it. The way I gather it from the lyrics that I read is she's spiraling down on her own struggles or her inner consciousness. She names herself as a self-proclaimed Cinderella, which she spells Cinderella the same way that's on the album, with a glass slipper no longer fitting. Things are changing. Once upon a time, it's instead of once upon a time, it's once upon a goodbye dream. Would she rather be herself that might outgrow everyone else? Basically, in the end, what I find out of this song is she's kind of having to choose her own pathway. She's working towards, kind of identifying herself and maybe not always having everyone behind her back, but she's also accepting who she is, but at the same time reflecting on what she could have done differently. No right worse I could make for every selfish mistake, heartbreak, jealousy, lasting past the high, 1,000 lives that passed me by. I feel like what's going on in this song is she herself is recognizing what she's chasing or what she could be chasing. A tragic tale that says it's fine, but no magic spell that heals time. She sings the song mostly in a soft pitch when she's not rapping, but when she is rapping, it's more aggressive towards herself. While soft pitch, it's more so focusing on accepting what's going on. Once again, I feel the song is pretty unique for our catalog. Generally speaking, what I really enjoy out of the song is the tempo goes slow, it goes fast, it goes slow, it goes fast. The song is like roughly 5 minutes long again, or I guess it's 4 minutes. What I enjoy out of it is, if I'm understanding this the way that she's kind of seeing it, it's just my own interpretation. She knows her struggles. She might know what she's putting herself up towards. She might have an ego. She may not have an ego. Maybe she's focusing and giving herself a high uplift while other people are bringing her down. She's running through a lot of different thoughts in her head, and she has all these ideas of mistakes or things that she wishes she could change. One side of her is aggressive against herself, while the soft pitch is focusing what's going on inside of her. Glass Slipper is weird. Well, it's not weird. I found the song kind of later on, and I'm gonna just say it now. This is the only song off that album that really connected with me that much.
I was gonna say it's the standout song.
It's
I
that album.
I eventually liked Greedy.
Yeah,
more.
like Wasted, or
Yeah,
let me pull it up.
yeah, it's wasted. It's wasted.
No, it's Wanted, Wasted.
Oh, okay.
And then Taste of Death. There's good songs in there, but I'm gonna kind of go back a little bit because I feel like I have to explain myself a little bit. The songs that I've already put in my top 10 are the ones that I feel are the most unique. These are the ones I'm like, wow, that really stands out. I feel like she's really being herself. Or they're the ones that are really speaking towards what she's going through, or the ones that are doing it in the most unique ways. And I'm not saying it's objective, not at all, but generally speaking, I feel like Glass Slipper is that weird combination that if Glass Slipper is her kind of accepting what she's doing and maybe what she's fighting in herself, that maybe she's holding on to a fairy tale idea of where she wants to be and she can't let go, and maybe she's holding regret towards her past or things that she could have done differently, then Skeletons is also the exhaustion of what she's fighting for in the burnout, while Through the Blue is also holding back towards those struggles that, maybe things could have been differently. Not saying I know anything about the course of Throughout the Blue and everything, but then say like Scuffed Up AIDS is kind of seeing the positive in life. There's a lot of horrible things or rough things that we all experience, and that's how Glass Slipper got its way in there, because it's weird. I didn't listen to it much before, but when I came across of it, it goes back to Scuffed Up AIDS of like, this really sticks in my head. Why does the tempo and the melody stick so much in my head, and how calm she's speaking towards what she's feeling and living? I just kept listening to it. I really like this song a lot. It made number 3 kind of miraculously. That's it for number 3.
the 2020 anime lineup. There are some good shows in there, like fall when Myth debuted. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen started. I mean, you got Rent a Girlfriend in there. Third season.
What's wrong with Rent a Girlfriend, bro?
You got third season of Snafu. I was there for that. There's a lot of shows in there I recognize, but yeah, I can see that being a slow year. Glass Slipper isn't on my list, but it was very close to making it. Yeah, it's definitely my favorite song on the album, Cinderella. I can't think of another song that sounds like it.
And that's my thing, is I'm not saying my list is objectively the best or something, but that's kind of how I formulated my list, is none of these songs are similar. Maybe Cold Following and 6 Feet Under, but I still don't feel like they're that similar. And that's why I think it tormented me making this list. Like, I was stuck in this. I was focused so much on this, and I really like Glass Slipper.
Well, I mean, like, that's what I was saying. Like, Callie's music is a mix between the sentimental, slow, or the upbeat, and it's like, I mean, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah,
my list at this point has been dominated by the slower now.
Well, so that's the thing.
I guess maybe not. Just maybe.
No, I don't think so.
Sentimental, maybe more just sentimental.
Scuffed Up Age is still kind of faster.
Yeah.
The Blue is slow. Skeletons is slow.
I don't bop my head to Scuffed Up Age though.
You don't?
I don't headbang Scuffed Up Age.
You don't? I do it at the gym.
Oh, you do?
Cardio.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be like, what the heck, man? That is just slapping.
But yeah, I that's a song if it pops up, I listen to it again. I really do like it.
Yeah.
I almost felt like I should have went back and re-listened to that whole album, because I'm like, is there really not as much on there I like? But I'm not sure.
I struggled with it. I wanted to find something in it.
It's sad because I was listening to it and I'm like, oh, this song's really good. I'm like, oh, I've already listened to this one. It was Glass Slipper.
Yeah, and it's like Wanted Wasted or A Taste of Death. Like, oh, these are too good. But I feel like there's something better. I feel like if I had to guess, Cinderella might have been the album in which she was trying to not necessarily be mainstream, but possibly try to be as normal as possible. Or maybe if her first one was considered cringy, her second one was, I'll just make quote unquote music. And then Phantomine came, and now I'm going to make what I want to make. Or something that's more sentimental or personal. I'm just guessing, though. I really don't know.
Yeah.
It's just what I'm guessing from, because Cinderella is a weird album.
Mm-hmm.
And I would unfortunately say it's my least favorite out of everything, basically.
Even her first EP?
No, maybe not. I don't know. I'd have to look at.
Okay.
What's your number 2?
Number 2, I think we share our top 2. I'm pretty sure we share our top 2. Maybe not in the same order, but I know we share our top 2. So Live Again was originally, I thought, was going to be my number 2. Wasn't Cinderella her first project with Universal? I'm not too sure about all that. I'm not aware about all that.
Hey man, I got into this like last October. Don't ask me.
I just, and if it's me, I just listen to the music. So originally Live Again was my top 2, my second. This was originally my number 1, and is End of a Life. Kill me now. End it all, Peter.
Shoot me in the head.
End it all, Peter. So End of a Life is obviously, I will still call her magnum opus, and I still love it, obviously. I was doing a little editing here. So I was looking at it. This song, and I knew it released very early. It released in 2021. It released within a year of the first EP releasing. So the first EP releases in October, released the next October. And this was the first song from Callie I loved. Absolutely. So End of a Life is deeply rooted in nostalgia for sure. Because I remember the day it came out. I remember where I was at when I first listened to it. I remember what I was doing. I remember the time frame. It was the day before Thanksgiving when this released. I remember going to the store because we needed stuff for Thanksgiving. So I loved it immediately.
You brought Kelly to Thanksgiving, man.
Yeah, I know. So I was listening to it constantly. I was in the store just listening to it on repeat. And by this point, I was already working on the house. So I was already getting back to a point where, like, I'm watching VTubers a little bit more when I can. It was mostly just clips. Council would have already been out debuted by this point. So there was a point where it's like, I want to watch their streams, but I'm busy. So I'm happy I was able to find or be able to listen to this when it came out immediately. It's inherently a very personal song, obviously, and she's talked about it already before, but it's about her continuing her path, and the people that she thought would be joining her don't. And then her success, because she continued her path, didn't exactly make those people happy, and that was hard for her, obviously. And I think there's a point, there's a couple of times in the lyrics where she just, or no, and there's a video where she just talks about it, where she talks about how she just wants someone to be proud of her. But the song is about that struggle of those friends that she thought were gonna join her on her path, but they don't. I'm pulling up the lyrics by mistake, because there was one thing in it. Oh, of course that wouldn't have lyrics. I'm listening to the instrumental version. Yeah. Basically, the songs that has to do with a lot of, like, what they did together and stuff that's in the past, but she continued her path. And there's a lyric in my mind that I'm thinking about. When the ladder fell and shattered every bar that we had played, does it matter in the end? The sound diminished and decayed, and your friends grew tired of fantasy. You're wishing they had stayed. That's basically that part. And then you can't even, like, the instrumentals. I've been meaning to actually look at if anything else had released before this. If her first album had already released by this point or not. Obviously her first EP.
I don't think so. I could be wrong though.
Yeah. And then, like, the next set of lyrics immediately after that. You don't get to say I miss you. You watched your heroes fade into the rearview mirror of the villain you portrayed. Stop the pity party, listen. You don't get to be dismayed. You don't get to be emotional. Be blessed Feel blessed you got it made. These are the best years of life because you chose to make a trade, recollect the days you hoped, and prayed for this. What is there to miss? And she said it herself. There's that part right there. You don't get to say I miss you. And there's part where she's hard on herself for, I think, feeling the way she does. Using her success to spite fake fans. Yeah. The song is mostly filled with a lot of nostalgia. It wasn't until way later that I know about its meaning. And by the song inherently being so early on, it's right at her 1 year anniversary, and you can just still feel the effects she has through a lot of her music later on. So do you have anything to say, or is that your number one?
That's my number 2.
Okay, that worked out.
I'll just key in. So, End of a Life. There's a lot to take away from this.
You listened to this song on your own too.
I did. So, I won't lie. I said back in October. I guess it's October. It might be late September, but it's October. It was October. This song, along with To the Blues, or just the Phantomime album, you could say, it always hit me and clicked with me a lot because I won't reiterate myself too much, but it goes back to, if I had to categorize Callie's music, it really has to be with how she views herself.
I guess you could have pulled it up your video.
Oh, my bad.
You did work on it, by the way.
There you go. I'm just going to read some of this, and then I'm going to speak about it. Learning to accept that life changes. Learning to break out of your cell. While breaking out of your cell, you'll likely feel lost until you begin to love who you are and what you're doing. Sometimes that takes a person or a thing to push you to who you really are. Every life event creates a challenge, and you may eventually view yourself or be viewed as a problem for chasing change, even if it's better for you. Learn to appreciate what you had and have. Cherish the time. Challenges will pull you down. You've achieved what you wanted. You've become who you wanted. Where are you now? A deep reminiscence of what was there and what you had to sacrifice to be where you're at now. What I love about the first half of the song has to involve the reminiscence of what is nostalgic. You hold on to what you made, what made you happy, and who made you, you. The second half is crushing. You chased what you needed in life. Challenges are in front of you, and your friends weren't able to follow you. It was your decision. It's a parallel of emotion. One second. Go back to it. Thank you. It's a parallel of emotions fighting each other. The melody follows this with a deep effect. The pitch and general tune amps up with the chorus, while still keeping a similar tempo. It feels like she's healing throughout the chorus, while build-up or general time verse feels like she's battling herself. It's a general coming-of-age song, I would call it. The thing is, this song, yeah, Magnus Opus is a good way of describing it, but at the same time, there is a lot of deeper things within it. Yeah, it's quote-unquote friends not following you, you're chasing towards your dreams, and, I'm going to put it this way, sometimes your friends don't follow you because sometimes your friends don't want you to succeed. Sometimes your friends want you to only be friends and be right next to you while you are chasing your dreams and making huge changes. Yes, eventually you'll see your own light and you'll make those improvements that you want and you'll fly. No proof, I guess. But at the same time, you'll never not look back. Thanks for saving my life. The song, it hits home because it's hard to not view yourself as the problem. It's hard to not view yourself as the problem or the reason why things maybe could not have stayed the same or things could not have recovered. But at the same time, you're reminiscing on the best of the times. We're not focusing on maybe what was not okay or maybe things that could not have stayed. You don't get to say, I miss you, you watch your heroes fade. It's hard. I mean, that's kind of a whole self-actualization of the whatever hierarchy thing of that pyramid that I think about from time to time, or which I could pull up if you want me to. But the thing is it's a psychology or sociology thing. The thing is in the end, you have to learn to be yourself and still chase towards the things that you want in your life. It kind of goes along with the general quote, people enter your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I kind of feel like that's what the song is about. You're going to chase towards your dreams. You're going to make the biggest impact that you need or want in your life. But everything comes with the sacrifice. And you'll often put that blame onto yourself.
I mean, and then there's also the aspect, like even Roland said, and it's true, they end up being fake friends too.
And that's the thing. Friends, you'll only know if a friend is truly your friend until they're still with you, which goes back to a lifetime. A reason can be there for a reason, maybe to get you through something. A season can be for a duration of time to maybe help you learn something, or just get you through a path. But a lifetime is the friend that's actually with you until the end. I mean, I think we all experience that in some category. Yeah, the tears of self-actualization. It's
tears of self-actualization.
Yeah, it's a psychology thing. Levels of self-actualization. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Austin. Pull up. Here, you want me to just, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, I'll just send it to you individually. Maslow's hierarchy of needs from psychology. Oh, wow. I'll just send it to you individually. You can have a look at that if you want to, but that's kind of what we're talking about. But yeah, end of a life. It hits like a truck. I knew it wasn't going to be anything below 3.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be. I knew it wasn't going to be 1, but I knew it was very likely to be 2. So,
I always assumed it was gonna be number 1 because I'm like, I can't think of anything that would beat it.
What is it?
One sec, I'm pulling up the self-actualization.
First music theory, now psychology. What kind of top 10 stream is this? Hey, don't worry about it. We're going to be getting into engineering here in a bit.
Yeah.
How they actually make this with instruments. Needs.
You learned this in school?
Yeah, school.
Yeah, watch Mojo. We didn't talk about this.
Yeah, so the thing is that people mostly struggle with is the top 3.
Yeah, people don't worry about
actually. Well, if that's secured for you, but I mean, the idea behind this pyramid is that you can't have one without the other. So you can't have safety needs without physiological needs, and you can't have belongingness without safety needs, and you can't have belongingness. You need to have esteem. You need to have belongingness. So intimate relationships, friends, people that support you, your support system, and so on. And then if you have good of that, then you eventually have high self-esteem. leading towards self high esteem is self actualization. I mean, we all struggle with this. This is a theory. It's not like a proven piece, but you can unironically use this as a source, even though it's a theory.
Okay.
I think it's considered a theory. I mean,
I think most things are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could prove this, but 1943, boys.
Okay.
Hey, rip off the Band-Aid.
Do we have the same number one?
I have a feeling we probably do.
I think we do. One sec. I think we do.
I'm
My
pretty sure.
number one. This originally wasn't my number one. It was probably actually closer to 4. And it got shot up. Where's Shinji's folding chair?
Not here, man.
Number one is Power. Silence is deafening.
Yeah, my number one's Resting Power too.
Look at that.
Look at that. Wow.
I'm gonna have to work overtime now.
I kind of want to start off on this one, but I understand.
Go ahead. Nope. Go
Okay.
ahead. Let me give you your limelight.
So
No, okay, you got it up.
Yeah. Resting Power for me was a one that I came across randomly. This was before my quote unquote looking for top 10. It was a song that I came across randomly while listening to Callie, that is. And the reason why it's my number one not only has to do with its general music capabilities, like, I mean, its chorus is super catchy, it has a fast tempo, but the reason why I actually love it has to do with the actual how the song is formulated. The way I would describe it is learning to strive in yourself even if you're scared. To let go of external struggles and learning to embrace in who you are. You have to work within yourself and accepting not everyone will follow you. Don't give up. You reside in hell, but you smile well. It's a lifestyle. In life, everything is against you. Everyone will challenge you and no one will be on your team. You'll gather people as you go, but your greatest enemy will be conforming to others. Be strong in yourself. My favorite aspect of this has to be how strong the second chorus returns. She's now with herself and standing for who she is. What I enjoy out of this song so much is it started as a whisper, but grew as I flew. She's plugging up her ears in pure rebellion, it must be, fear of contradicting a life of the unliving. She's focusing too much on external pieces. I think she's genuinely scared. Then she gets claimed for clout chasing, more like racing the clock. She's not letting herself rest. To stand against the odds, they can call us anything they like bitches, cowards, and frauds. But we're the ones who get hurt, then we rip the applause. It's a lifestyle, ain't it? When us gets it out first, the crowd says paint it. Everything's against her, and she's learning to be herself. But what I really enjoy out of the song is the general first chorus. I would describe that she's hesitant. She's scared. But by the second chorus, it feels like she's finally united for who she is. One of my favorite lyrics out of this has to be, but always walking over any vibe I'm sending, or always eggshells walking over any vibe I'm sending. Ain't you ever sick of pretending? So I'll take a solid look in the mirror. So I give her all of it, or should I fear her? I mean, generally speaking, she's scared to accept for what she wants to be and scared to actually thrive and strive. That's how I interpret Resting Power. This song has always been really powerful for me. Even the very first time I heard it and then I sent it on the VTuber channel that we have on Discord, I was like thoroughly impressed by this song.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was number one before anything. And it's not just because, oh man, it's catchy, it's good. It's like, this is a genuinely really powerful song. And there's not a song like this, I feel like. I know a lot of her songs have to do about herself, or what she's suffering from, what she struggles with, everything. But this one is the most motivating one. I feel like this is the one that you're fighting against all the odds. You're truly striving for what you want. And you're not letting other things finally pull you down. Plans to get that gold never get old. Remember me says it every time, like she knows it's only temporary. But Brandon clumsy, she numbsy as he becomes me, bloodied up and leaning sideways. She closes distance, events and repeat the feat. I'm kind of surprised this was your number one. I didn't know it would be. To me, this one has kind of always been my favorite for like at least 2 months now.
It wasn't my favorite until I formed the list.
Gotcha.
And I really just sat and looked at the lyrics.
It's a lifestyle, ain't it? I love it. But yeah, I don't know why I'm the way how I am with music. When I like something or when I know something special, it really sticks with me. It's not so much like, oh wow, this is really good, it's just so catchy. It's like, no, like that is just genuinely very good. I've not heard something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know another song like Resting Power off the top of my head. So it was easily my number one.
And if you listen to it on the album, Scuffed Up Age comes right after it.
Yeah.
I don't like. I was kind of saying like, oh, I think it's actually about Kiara because they said bird brain. And I'm like, no, guys, I don't think that's why. No, I don't think so.
Also, this is my favorite album.
I don't know, man. Phantom Mine's really good.
Phantom Mine is really good, but
yeah,
and
I'm simple
with her music and this one. I just feel like
it looks like she's elevated.
See, I kind of want to go buy the poster and frame this, but I have to go buy it off eBay for $65. I'm thinking about it, and that's not good.
I'm simple. I even like Shinigami no, and it's just her sitting down.
I like that too.
So ironically, once I put it as number one, I'm like, it's like poetic. It's clearly a very sentimental song. It's personal, but it is upbeat, and you can get into it. And it's like the mix match of like what makes Callie for me. And like it's those two together at their best. I wrote it's about a struggle between two people wanting to go different paths. The one that's singing most of it is the one that's the more optimistic, knowing the best outcome will come when they work together. At different points, you can hear a different person speak, and you know it's the other one because it's inherently the more negative lyric, and that's the one that's questioning, second guessing everything. What about Jigoku 6? Jigoku 6 with Evil Callie and Big Booba?
That's an alright album. Like, alright, I just don't know why.
It fits with the theme of the album.
It does. I'm just also like, it's a very different album, right?
Yeah. I do like how fast he gets into it. Yeah, the beginning lyrics are really good. Like you mentioned. There's a couple parts in it. I think I've tried to pay attention to it. Essentially, it is one Callie singing through all of it, except during the chorus. And it's not like oh, it's doubled. I think it's two separate recordings.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too.
And so at the very end what I like is it's a conversation at the very end.
Yeah.
So on the left, and especially if you have headphones on, you'll only hear one voice from one side of your headphones. So the left Callie is the optimistic one. It feels like the beginning, and the right side, your right headphone says it's nothing like the beginning. And then the optimistic, I think we might just be winning. Negative is, I think you're just kidding. And then she says again, it feels like the beginning. And then at the end, they're together. It says, but I really think you and I could start something new. So there's also a part of this, like, this is also off the first album. So this is relatively new, though, still.
I feel like this is not a popular pick.
I don't know. Let me pull it up. Unalive is a 2022 song. So I was watching Hololive a little bit more consistently around this time. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, going off of Spotify, it's not top 10.
Oh, we didn't even do honorable mentions.
Yeah, I still have honorable mentions.
We have kind of already gone through some honorable mentions.
Yeah, I won't cover much time on it.
I will say the one that got kicked out. It was one that was originally in, but I swapped it out. And it's what made Don Mai come in. Where is it? Oh, it's Off With Their Heads. It's a single. Grab the scythe and show them how. It's just freaking. It's just like it's a good. It's the same thing I have with like Overkill and other. It's just I like it. It's just basically you listen to the song at the gym.
So my honorable mentions, I created a slide. I'll just go through it really fast.
Here.
Holy is very close.
Do you have it up?
Yeah, it's up.
Holy is really good.
Holy was painful to not have a number 10. Holy was very close.
Is Holy on Shinigami Note?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so. Black Sheep, I really like Black Sheep too.
I think I expected that one on here.
Yeah, and it's just tough. Left 4 Dead Lullaby, I won't go a whole lot into that. Same thing. I just like how haunting and how gothic it is. I genuinely really enjoy just kind of how dark and slow the tempo is. You've already went through that. I won't go over it. Midnight Mori, that's fun, man. That's Kobo.
It's Kobo.
Yeah, it's Kobo, man. Future Island or Egghead, that's fun. I just enjoy it. I did not put on the list because it's like putting that on the list is like not giving something else that actually should be on the list. And I don't know. Plus, my thing is that's a One Piece song too. So
I just sent you that.
I know, but I've already listened to that.
I know. It's interesting that I just sent it to you.
And that's One Piece, man. That's a One Piece promo. So I'm kind of like, Live Again, you already explained that. Red, I was conflicted with Red. Red is a perfectly good, fine song, but for some reason, Red doesn't connect with me very much.
Okay.
Red to me is like, it's a very like, it feels like you're trying to do both things. I think there's a deeper message within Red, but at the same time, it's like I feel like some of the other songs do it better, and it's kind of hard for me to say. Last Days, that was almost number 10 as well. Last Days, I think, is a really pretty song. I think Last Days, focusing on the idea of like being alone and not being able to follow, and people going off their own paths, I think it's really pretty too. But
we both didn't.
both didn't
put Last Days on.
So I was at a point where I was like, if I put Last Days on here, I don't feel like I was being true to myself.
Uh-huh.
And that's why ultimately not putting Holy on felt like I was being true to myself. But at the same time, it was like, but all these other songs I feel like also deserve to be on.
I really do like Red. One sec. I really do like Red. I don't care for that now. I really do like Red. My thing has always just kind of been it was the chorus.
Yeah,
It kind of loses it for me.
I agree.
But it's like the beginnings. I love it because it's just the piano.
Yeah, and I do too. And I actually think if I had to choose between the Lofi and the original version, I would choose the Lofi version actually, because it feels like it can just focus on itself a little bit more. But my flip side to it is, I always kind of think in my head, if Red was a really popular one, it's just not for me. I feel like it focuses on other aspects than what I always look for in music or what I'm looking for out of Cali.
Mm-hmm.
And Midnight Mori, I just really enjoy that because I feel like it's a general kind of like love between Cali and Kobo.
I know.
It's like
That's them.
it's like I wanted to put that on, but I was like, okay, so like
It's
if you want to go back to my list,
dad and son.
I know, right? I was jokingly going to say that if it was in my number 10, I was like, this is about a song and her dad and son, man. But I didn't. But that top 10 was hard to do. It was hard.
Yeah. I really do like Red. Shout out to the Flare Nui Nui quest composition. I love it in that game. It fits really good as a boss theme. Just lyrics. Callie's take on City Pop, yeah. I can see that. Last Days was just outside of my top 10. It was the standout song for me on that album the first time I listened to it.
So, and that's my thing. I feel like Last Days is one of those standout songs, but I always find out that like the standout song isn't really the song that I connect the most with half the time.
Well, it's because you grow appreciation for the other ones a little slower.
Yeah.
This isn't in your clearly your honorable mentions. I really like Mera Mera. Mera Mera. Off Shinigami Note.
I think I remember that one.
I've always sung. That's just another one. I'm sorry. I just like it for it being catchy.
So how similar are our lists actually? Because so they are a little similar, but also very different.
I'll also say I thought this one might have made my top 10, but it just didn't actually by quite a bit. I really like Flashbang.
Flashbang is catchy, but so here's my thing. And there's also another honorable mention.
There's a very clear honorable mention that has not gotten mentioned yet.
So there's the Amelie, Cinderella, Dance Beat Past Midnight. That's also good too.
Uh-huh.
But the reason why I didn't put that on, or I say Carousel or so on, is when this song's with Callie collabing with someone else, I just can't tell like who's the song really. Like we have multiple artists here, and even if it's good, I just feel like it's not so good for like a sentimental value or something that kind of has a bit more of a meaning. So I kind of struggle with that a little bit. But what was another honorable mention?
Some deadbeat in chat. You're never getting your black card back? Callie, yeah, I know. Why do I feel like I know that? I'd say in context, Last Days is the anticipation for the end, and Through the Blue is the closure to the end. I feel like Last Days is like probably your, yeah, it's the anticipation of the end, but it's probably like your fear of the end.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of how fear works. You're half the time more in fear of what's going to happen than actually what will happen. But did YouTube like crash? I can't even pull up YouTube anymore.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, like I can pull up Twitch, but I can't pull up YouTube anymore.
Hmm.
So that's fun.
There's one clear song that hasn't gotten talked about yet, and it's kind of a big one. Do you know what it is?
Yeah. Go Getters.
Yeah, Go Getters.
Go Getters is good.
I have
but
nothing against Go Getters at all. I expected it to be in my top 10. It just didn't make it.
I knew Go Getters wasn't going to be in my top 10.
I think it's one
this is just
yeah.
This is just me. Maybe I'm wrong to say this, but I'm always of the mindset, if you're going to do a promo for a song or you're going to do anything for a song, how much of it is really your song? How much of the song are you making for that product or a piece? And I mean that respectfully. It's just when I listen to Go Getters, like, wow, this is a good song, but there's not much reason for me to come back to it.
Other than it being super catchy. I think it's
catchy for 1 week, Austin.
No. This was number 3 on my Spotify Wrapped last year.
Real deadbeat fan.
Yeah. I think it's actually one of her best sounding songs. I put it with like Glass Slipper, where it's like it's a just great sounding song.
Yeah.
I think it's some of her best vocal work too. If you really listen to her, I think she sings it really well. There's different styles of music in it, or just where the song goes. Because, there's a lot of points where it's like, oh, it's about to get into the chorus, and then it just changes its route. And it eventually gets towards the chorus. And it's great. I think it's also just a fun song. And it will forever. It's going to outlive the anime for sure. I don't even know if the show is good or not.
I don't know, man. Can't ask me.
But yeah, I really like it. The original, the duet. Oh, I prefer the original for sure.
So, what regrets do you have off your top 10? Do you still struggle?
Nope.
I'm pretty happy with my top 10.
I will say,
I never want to do it again.
I will say there's one aspect about Resting Power that I have not mentioned as to what made it number 1. Originally, I think Resting Power was closer to number 3. And once I realized there's actually a meta aspect to the song, and we know it's a meta aspect because Callie actually hasn't talked about it much. She's very brief about it. There's a meta aspect to it, and once I realized it and started listening to it again, it shot it up to number 1 immediately. But we can't talk about it on stream. We can talk about it afterwards. But that single-handedly made it number 1 for me.
Interesting.
That's it.
It only took us 3.5 hours.
The damage is done. The pain subsides. I get to
see the fear clip in front of your eye. I can't remember the lyric.
And I can see the fear clear as I look in your eyes.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. Exactly.
I don't know. So, this will be the last stream. I will not be returning.
I don't know what I'm going to do on Thursday if I do. We got to play Monster Hunter.
I know, but I won't be living. I feel like I'm going to get shot for
I don't know why this felt like this was such a load on me.
I don't know why either, but I just have a feeling Resting Power is not popular.
I don't know where it is.
I don't know. I feel like no one... Oh, I don't even know why I would say no one talks about it. But
It's not like I'm in Callie's Discord or
friendship
anything.
over.
It's not
We
like
didn't even play Mario Party.
I know. I don't really know what I don't like. I mean, going through Callie's like popular list is a way to gauge it, but I don't totally understand it because you'll have numbers like this. Go Getters is at number 1, but it has less numbers than End of Life.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
How is that
I
figured?
think I'm going to assume there's probably an algorithm in the background where Go Getters probably shot up in numbers stupid fast, so it goes to the way number 1, while it goes back to End of a Life where, oh wow, this is really popular and it stays consistent, and then number 4 is just always consistent. There probably has to be something in the background of like there's some form of calculation of, well, this got this in a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be. Like, I've seen this before too. I don't even feel like it used to be this way, but I could be wrong.
I've always noticed it, but I've just questioned or whatever. Also, if you haven't noticed already, I don't have any collaborative songs. You're the only one that even had one with Midnight Mayoi. With Kobo.
Yeah, but that wasn't in my 10 though.
I know, but I didn't even have any of them as my memorable.
And my thing is, I didn't even consider that a collab one really because that's still like in house.
Yeah, it's on her album.
Yeah,
it's not.
There's no sneaking on this, Austin. There's no sneaking on this one.
No capsule.
No capsule. Yeah, I was gonna call you out if you put Suisse on this.
Suisse sneaks it on the list. It would have been.
Number 1 is, you know what I was going to do as a gag, but I didn't do it because I know I was going to be too focused. I was about to put an Alahai song on this, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm already too focused.
Only you and I would find that funny.
That and two in my head. My thing is like, I knew I was going to be too focused on this. This was already stressing me out by number 9.
Yeah. I would say if there was going to be one from Suisse, it was going to be Wicked.
Wicked is good.
I prefer Wicked.
Capsule's right.
I really like Capsule. I was getting a little soft on it the other day, and then I listened to it yesterday. Like, no, this is good. This is really good.
Soft on it?
Yeah, I said it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think what mostly this has shown is obviously your music theory class has proven its worth because you can describe everything so much better. But I don't know. I appreciate the little things, even if it's mostly just music structure.
Yeah, my thing is
because next time I'll be playing Through the Blue on my guitar.
Yeah, the music theory and so on with this is weird because it's hard for me to not think of music the same way anymore. Like, I think out of school, that was the one thing I might have taken out the most, is because music already connects with me a lot, where I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I say this is an objective list, I'm getting shot. It's over. There's bully on that list, Austin. I don't think anyone's a bully fan.
I was gonna be genuinely surprised if you did have
the fucking music theory build roads. No. But it can do music therapy and help your dementia-related grandparent recover its memories.
Isn't that from something?
I'm not even in. Yeah, so there's a way of music theory in which it can help the dementia patients, like help recover. Like,
I thought that was like actually from a movie.
No, it's a.
Oh no, I'm thinking of an anime. I'm thinking of Charlotte. That happens in Charlotte.
Did that so suck?
So the ending sucks. Like the second half of it sucks. The first half is really good, and the part I'm talking about is within the first half. It is genuinely one of the best parts in the show.
When you say the ending sucks, like the second half, do you mean the second half of the episode or the second half of the series?
The second half of the series.
Because I'm gonna say if the first half of an episode's really good, but the second half's really bad, I'm very interested.
It might be like the last third or quarter is what makes it bad. It's for sure the last episode.
I don't want to talk about Charlotte. It's 11:45. I mean, it's 10:45.
Okay. We got to work on Monster Hunter. Callie's concert's next weekend. We're gonna hear a new song for sure.
Yep.
I hope we hear maybe 5 of these songs at the concert.
I'd be happy if I heard 2.
Let's
be honest. End of a Life's gonna be there.
End of a Life's gonna be there.
Resting Power won't be. Skeletons might be.
I hope Overkill is there. Overkill will be sick.
Overkill has a better chance. Cold Following might.
I think Don might has a chance.
Don might definitely has a chance. Go get you a ticket, y'all. Yeah, this was a Cali sponsored stream. We got you.
We got you.
We got you.
I know.
I wish I had the finances to go to a Cali stream. Did you even look at the budget of that?
The budget of her concert?
Well, how much does the ticket cost and a plane ticket over there and hotel and so on?
Yeah, I didn't look at that.
Let me go pull it up so I can feel depressed.
So this is actually her second live concert, but it's the first one in America. The first one was in Japan. I need to look up what her set list was. I know obviously she did Live Again in End of a Life because she did those 2 back to back.
Yeah. Hollywood, Los Angeles. So let's look at plane tickets to Los Angeles. Let's pull this up, okay? From here, yeah, there. And then we'll do February 26th. So we would have to plan on February... Wait, it's February 26th? Is that what I said?
That's when the concert is, yes.
So it's February 26th. So you would have to be there on February 25th, and you would come back February 27th. Like that. Done. Show flights. Give me some dollar amounts. Do you know how expensive the ticket was?
I wouldn't know. Probably around 50 to something. 50 to...
I'll pull up Ticketmaster.
Actually, I do have the website up.
No, I'm literally looking at general admission standing is 118 at this given time. A flight would have been 358.
Okay, so her first concert.
We would have been able to go there for 600, but then the hotel probably would have been another 250. I'm assuming. Food, it would have been a sub $1,000 trip. You got $1,000? Dude, we should have started a charity
sub
stream.
$1,000 trip?
Yeah. Let's try and make this sound like this is financially affordable. Austin, we still have time.
We still got time.
Can you imagine? I'm gonna take the whole week off work because the Monster Hunter's coming out, and then
I did say we're taking off.
Oh dang, my window is frozen.
Yeah, it'll do that.
Yeah, this ice built around. Oh, that's cool. I think that's probably good. Sleep in a car instead. That's true. Well, but we're gonna have to take a plane. Well, we could drive over there. You want to sleep in the Volkswagen?
Yay. Okay. I looked up actually her set list for her first concert. I need to go back and watch the concert because this would have been great. So she did 24 songs. She did first is Guh, then Holy.
Start off with a banger.
So yeah.
Follow it up with a banger.
This is all Camouflage. I do really like
Camouflage is also I like Camouflage.
I like Camouflage a lot too.
I know, but I feel like I can't listen to that in public. Anyways, continue.
Dead on Arrival, which is also
Okay.
good. Red.
All right.
Q. So Gura did come
Wait,
up.
what?
Q.
Oh, Q.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Q.
so Gura did come up on stage for it. Grim Reaper is a live streamer.
Okay.
Capsule. So Suisse was there. No, I don't know. It has Capsule and Wicked. So Suisse might have been for both. And then the playlist shows Reaper versus Sheep, and then another. Basically, Watame was there too. Watame was there for 2 songs, and then Bully, and then Unalive. Then there's Dawn Blue. I don't remember
know what
Dawn.
that is.
It's yeah.
That might have been just a cover off another song.
She did Lose Days
Oh, really?
at a concert. Lose Days. Then Scuffed a Page. Live
Wait,
again.
that sounds like a banger concert.
I know. I need to go up. I need to look it up. Live Again, and then End of a Life. Make 'Em Afraid, which is off Shinigami Note. Deadbeats, which is off the first EP. Mera Mera. Huge W, which is off Unalive, and then Let's End the
Huge W's right.
And then Let's End the World is the second last song, and then it ended off with R.I.P.
Oh, End of a Life wasn't at that time.
No, End of a Life was earlier. They had Scuffed Up Age, Live Again, and then End of a Life.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good concert.
Make it a business expense. I could probably make that happen.
So this is where it's like, yeah, this concert's gonna be great.
Hey, boss, there's a very important meeting next Wednesday. I need a flight.
It's gonna be
I'm here to go see Elon Musk at Microsoft.
It's like I'm gonna go see Taylor Swift.
Bill Gates on Intune on Microsoft. Entra ID. Computer deployment.
For continuing education.
Yes.
Business relation.
Don't worry about the saying Ticketmaster, $118. Don't worry about that. The flight's common, Conference in LA, it happens.
Yeah.
Anyways, I gotta go to bed, so I'm done.
Okay.
This was not easy.
We're done. We're calling it here. Thanks for
hanging for the rest of the week.
Thanks for hanging out, Roland. I'll probably stream on Thursday. I don't know what we're doing. We gotta focus on Monster Hunter.
Yeah, we gotta start grinding. We got so much to grind.
Big tech.
Yeah, big.
Where is
what's it called? Sinks and Six. What's it called?
Where is Silicon Valley?
Silicon Valley. That's what I was thinking of. I think it is. Silicon Valley is in Northern California. It's
Also, there's one last thing we got to end on. I told you we would have no more than 5. It's exactly 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I didn't expect that.
I told you. CES. CES already happened though. Unless they do CES summer, CES spring. Yeah. All right. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out.
Good night.